heard when I spoke to him directly, and I was heartened by that. That's what the country needs. A sense of unity, a sense of inclusion, a respect for our institutions, our way of life, rule of law, and a respect for each other. I hope that he maintains that spirit throughout this transition, and I certainly hope that's how his presidency has a chance to begin. I also told my team today to keep their heads up, because the remarkable work that they have done day in, day out, often without a lot of fanfare, often with a lot of attention, work in agencies, work in obscure areas of policy that make government run better and make it more responsive and make it more efficient and make it more service-friendly so that it's actually helping more people. That remarkable work has left the next president with a stronger, better country than the one that existed 8 years ago. So win or lose in this election, that was always our mission. That was our mission from day one. And everyone on my team should be extraordinarily proud of everything that they have done. And so should all the Americans that I've had a chance to meet all across this country, who do the hard work of building on that progress every single day. Teachers in schools, doctors in ER clinic, small businesses putting their all into starting something up, making sure they're treating their employees well. All the important work that's done by moms and dads and families and congregations in every state. The work of perfecting this union. So this was a long and hard-fought campaign. A lot of our fellow Americans are exultant today. A lot of Americans are less so. But that's the nature of campaigns. That's the nature of democracy. It is hard and sometimes contentious and noisy. It's not always inspiring. But to the young people who got into politics for the first time and may be disappointed by the results, I just want you to know you have to stay encouraged. Don't get cynical. Don't ever think you can't make a difference. As Secretary Clinton said this morning, fighting for what is right is worth it. Sometimes you lose an argument. Sometimes you lose an election. You know, the path that this country's taken has never been a straight line. We zig and zag, and sometimes we move in ways that some people think is forward and others think is moving back. And that's okay. I've lost elections before. Joe hasn't, but you know. So I've been sort of sharing.
You beat me badly.
That's the way politics works sometimes. We try really hard to persuade people that we're right. And then people vote. And then if we lose, we learn from our mistakes, we do some reflection, we lick our wounds, we brush ourselves off, we get back in the arena. We go at it. We try even harder the next time. The point, though, is that we all go forward with the presumption of good faith in our fellow citizens. Because that presumption of good faith is essential to a vibrant and functioning democracy. That's how this country has moved forward for 240 years. That's how we've pushed boundaries and promoted freedom around the world. That's how we've expanded the rights of our founding to reach all of our citizens. It's how we have come this far. And that's why I'm confident that this incredible journey that we're on as Americans will go on. And I'm looking forward to doing everything that I can to make sure that the next president is successful in that. I've said before, I think of this job as being a relay runner. You take the baton, you run your best race, and hopefully by the time you hand it off, you're a little further ahead. You've made a little progress. And I can say that we've done that, and I want to make sure that handoff is well executed, because ultimately we're all on the same team. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
President taking no questions as he walks back into the White House. The president reflected there, almost as if he is still grappling with the results, and noting that he was up at 3:30 in the morning with a conversation with President-elect Donald Trump. Chuck Todd now joins me here in our election center. Chuck, at moments there, it sounded like the president was sketching out his own farewell address. The legacy question is going to loom large now.
No, it is. And it's that conversation, you don't get the third, the quote-unquote third term. And, the big pledge among this new Republican majority, both in the House, the Senate, and the presidency, is to repeal your signature domestic program, Obamacare, and the health care. So I'm not surprised that there's a little bit in there, but I thought he hit all the right notes. Again, this is important moments in our democracy. When he brought it up himself, the two of them it's personal. But that was important to the democracy. The people spoke. That was a president who respected the fact that the people spoke.
People spoke, he said. We're all on one team. And he made a specific note of how he was, how the transition went from the Bush administration to his, and wanting to follow that example. And speaking very quickly of President Bush, a quick statement. He said this morning, I called President-elect Donald Trump, congratulated him on his election. Goes on to say, Lauren, I wish the President-elect Melania and the entire Trump family all our best as they take on the awesome responsibility. And it goes on a bit more. But that statement from George W. Bush. I want to go to Trump Tower right now. Peter Alexander is standing by. Peter, we heard the president say he has invited President-elect Trump to the White House. Do we know where that invitation stands and when it will be accepted?
Well, we don't know that it's been formally accepted, but I did hear from Donald Trump's campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway, who told me that Donald Trump does look forward to meeting with President Obama at the White House. We do assume that will take place tomorrow. What was striking is within the last few minutes, we're hearing for the first time from Donald Trump's inner circle a response to what Hillary Clinton's remarks were a short time ago, describing it as a, quote, very classy speech, saying that it was an important step in bringing this country together. It's worth noting right now that they had just temporarily shut down Fifth Avenue in front of Trump Tower here, as Donald Trump, now president-elect, New York police and Secret Service are trying to sort out the security that now surrounds this man, bringing in giant barricades with huge sand trucks that surround the place as well. This has been a striking scene all morning long. We have seen international journalists, of course, but also protesters and supporters of Donald Trump. The debate that was the force behind this whole campaign for so many months continues in this country.
All right, Peter, thanks. Let's go back to the White House one more time and check in again with Ron Al. Ron, what has the mood been at the White House that you've observed this morning?
Sort of like a funeral, Lester. What you can't see is that there are dozens of White House staffers who came out here in the Rose Garden to support the president, and we see a lot of tears, a lot of hugging, a lot of trying to support each other and get their heads around what happened. I heard a very philosophical President Obama talking about Donald Trump in a way he never had before, and it was very striking. But it's all about trying to keep the democracy going and take the high road. But what a difficult day for the president.
Ron Allen at the White House. Ron, thank you. We'll continue to watch reaction to Trump's election this afternoon, continuing coverage on MSNBC. And, of course, we'll be back with a complete wrap-up on NBC Nightly News. For now, I'm Lester Holt in New York. Good day, everyone.